Good evening. Welcome to 60 Minutes. Parents out there, do you ever wonder why your teenage children are beginning to behave differently? Your children are going through a transitional time in their lives. Their minds are developing in numerous ways, from their morals to their overall thinking processes. In order to understand their development, we first must look back to see how they reached their current state. Tonight, we will be exploring the various stages of development, according to some of the greatest psychologists our world has ever known. Delving into the works of Piaget, Erikson, and so many more, you can finally understand your teens and yourselves. The true originator of human development was Jean Piaget, who was born at the end of the 19th century in Switzerland. Before the age of 30, he already was the head of the philosophy at the University of Neuchâtel, a respected university in Switzerland. By the time he had his own children, Piaget began to record observations on their behavior, leading to the creation of the 4 Piaget stages of development. My team traveled down to a children's hospital in Ecuador in order to study the first 2 stages of human development. The first level is the sensory motor stage, which takes place from birth until 2 years of age. During this time, an infant is exploring their world and imitating the action of the adults around them. While it may seem obvious to us, a 1-year-old is learning a concept known as object permanence. They begin to realize that an object exists when they can no longer see it. Since this baby is almost 2 years old, she demonstrates her grasp on object permanence by attempting to remove the sock puppet from my hand. In addition, it is interesting to note that the child is already speaking Spanish. She has passed the point of universal adaptability, where she was able to distinguish among the sounds of any language. However, even if she continues to specialize in Spanish, there is still time for her to easily become fluent in other languages before she becomes 6. This window of availability is known as the critical period of human language. While we were in Ecuador, we visited a school to study the pre-operational stage, which consists of children from 2 to 6 years old. During this time, fantasy play is a significant part of a child's life. As the name suggests, the children can act out a scene in their imagination using symbolic gestures. With these children, their hands are symbolizing a butterfly in the song they are singing. Children in this age group think the entire world revolves around them, since their entire lives their parents have focused on them. This is known as egocentrism. They often have difficulty understanding another person's point of view during this stage. Finally, it is evident that these children were raised speaking English in addition to Spanish. They are able to sing the song Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes with such ease, despite the fact that their critical period for language is already beginning to close.
I want to sing that song about the part of the body, okay? Head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head,
Shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Hello. In our continuing investigation, we're going to try a little bit of an experiment. Here we have our test subject. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I am Justin, I'm 9.
As a 9-year-old, Justin is currently in the concrete operation stage. Today our experiment is going to show a little bit more about what he's learned in this time. Now Justin, would you look at this glass right here? Take a good look at it. Study how big it is. How much liquid's in there? Did you get a good look?
Yep.
Now I'm going to try something a little different. Watch this. Now study the amount of liquid in there. What do you notice? Is it more, less, or the same amount of liquid?
The same,
But why? It's not as tall as it was over here.
but it's thicker, it's water around, so it can
Oh, so there are more ways than one, right? Justin was able to demonstrate his understanding of the principles of conservation, which show that a liquid's volume does not change based on its container. Concrete operation level children are able to observe both the container's height and width at the same time, unlike younger children. However, now we will see Justin's mental shortcomings.
Okay, Justin, today we're going to learn about a new thing called variables. Variables are any number can equal any number in entire world. Can you think of a number?
7.
Yeah, x can equal 7. X can represent any number. So now we're going to learn about equations. Okay, so can you see what x equals? You know what x equals here?
30 because of the answer. 30.
Actually, no. What we're going to do is first you're going to subtract 10 from this side and this side. So it equals 20. Okay? So 2x equals 20. And divide this side by 2. And divide this side by 2. Cross those out. And x equals 10. Okay? Do you get it?
No.
You don't get it at all?
No, still equals 30.
Despite getting the previous question correct, it is obvious that Justin cannot understand this concept. The idea of a letter representing any number is too confusing for him. Now we will see students who can understand a concept such as this.
The last one, I gave you some angle measures.
The final stage is known as the formal operation stage, which is reached by the age of 12. Children in this stage begin to understand abstract concepts. In order to study this stage further, we visit a geometry class at Hershey High School. Geometry is a course that covers a variety of concepts most students take in either late middle school or early high school because younger students do not have the mental capacity to understand these abstract concepts, as evidenced by Justin's failure to understand algebra. These students are beyond simple addition and subtraction. In the class that students need to utilize the Pythagorean theorem, trig functions, and algebraic expressions. The students not only learn the concepts, they also must apply the concepts in word problems, representing a higher level of intellect that they have developed. In addition, the students learn to write proofs where they must take given information and apply their knowledge to research a logical conclusion, which a younger student could never hope to accomplish.
While we were talking with the students, we noticed a great deal of variety. There was a wide spectrum of maturity and personalities among the students. We were reminded of theories proposed by another psychologist, Erikson. Previously named Erik Solomonson and Erik Amberger, Erikson had a very confusing childhood, which many attribute to the development of his theories. According to Erikson, there are 8 separate stages to psychosocial development, where the successful completion of a stage leads to the emotional, healthy growth of a person. On the other hand, if this stage is not successfully completed, one will have problems later in life. Our research on this subject led us to an expert in the field, who could help us understand Erikson's most famous theory, the teenage identity crisis.
Now we're going to talk with Dr. Daniel Rayberg of Yale University, a psychology professor who specializes in the teenage identity crisis.
In this stage of their life, teenagers often go through what we call an identity crisis, where they cannot come to terms with the type of person they are. They consider which career they will take, what kind of person they are, what kind of friends they have. Some of them may go through different trial attempts at careers, trying different talents, maybe trying music, maybe trying to see whether their career lies in sports. Many of them often try different styles, as in colors of hair, different ways to dress, and in this striving time of their life, they move towards the future adult that they'll become. But this is a big moment in their life because they have to find out who they are, and it's a process that really has dire results in their life, because if they don't, they may later become insecure people, and the ability to find out who they are gives them the confidence that will aid them later in life.
Now that we have looked at the development of teens, you hopefully have a greater appreciation for what they are going through. As you've seen, this is a time of exploration and great confusion. However, almost every teen is able to get through this time successfully. Despite the extensive research on human development, there is still much to learn. This is a study that will continue beyond our lifetimes. It is filled with many questions that may never be fully answered. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.